What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Sheila going to protect Luna from Lee? Teaser for the Bold and the Beautiful. Sheila Sharp might intervene to save Luna Nozawa from dying by strangulation. Will Spencer, Katie Logan, and Bill Spencer are willing to let Lee Finnegan strangle her since he is so furious. The aftermath of Luna disclosing her actions to Will was recently shown in a preview. A recent B&B preview depicted what happened after Luna told Will about her survival and her acts, and Will called his parents to meet at his dad's house after Luna fled. She ended up sheltering for a short time in the adjacent apartment of Remy Price. Bill and Katie will not be pleased to learn that Lee faked Luna's death, just as she did with John Finnegan, in order to keep her alive. Therefore, Will's parents won't be overly shocked to learn that Lee performed with Luna again, albeit they'll be baffled as to why. Sheila was the first to learn about what had happened, and she and Lee were at Luna's bedside when she woke up, believing they could repair her. Lee is seen in the preview strangling Luna in front of Katie and the Spencers. Although the trailer suggests that this confrontation is taking place at Lee's house, it is most definitely not the Spencer mansion. Will found Luna alive at Lee's house. Then, while Will was very inebriated, thanks mainly to Luna, he discovered that she had taken Electra Forrester's mask and had been impersonating her in bed. Will has a significant grievance against Lee for keeping Luna alive and concealed, as do Katie and Bill. Apparently, Luna has returned from Remy's place, where he was as surprised as everyone else to see her alive, as they show there to confront Lee. Sheila might be en route to Lee's to visit Luna. Her first impressions of the Spencers. Sheila may be on her way to meet Luna and is aware that she will remain at Lee's. However, she recognizes that the Spencers are also going there and knows that this is not typical. Unaware that Will had located her, she would be afraid that Luna might be there alone and wish to step in before they find her alive. Given that someone would most likely notify Finn, no one would be shocked if Sheila dropped in, even if it meant that he would discover she had known about Luna's survival all along. Since Luna transformed and reformed with the right motive in her life, Sheila has been working to change her. She and Lee both wanted to change Luna. However, Sheila might decide to save her grandchild if she sees Lee strangling their granddaughter while the Spencers and Katie are just standing there. Sheila Carter, now posing as Sheila Sharp, is positioned as the unlikely savior of Luna Nozawa in a deadly confrontation with Lee Finnegan on The Bold and the Beautiful. Teasers indicate that Sheila may step in at the precise moment Lee tries to strangle Luna to death, while Bill Spencer, Katie Logan, and Will Spencer stand frozen in anger and indecision, watching the violence unfold in real time. This is a shocking new twist that could rock the foundation of every family involved. The previews demonstrate how furious the Spencers are with Luna for drugging Will, tricking him with Electra Forrester's mask, and all but ruining his reputation that, for a brief moment, none of them intervened to stop Lee's violent outburst. And Sheila's uncertainty enables her to take on a role no one ever thought possible, protecting Luna, the grandchild she once hated but now regards as the final, precarious link in her quest for atonement. Even though Katie gasps and Bill clenches his fists, it is Sheila who storms into the room, snarling with maternal rage as she pulls Lee off her own niece and declares that no one, least of all Lee, has the right to decide whether Luna lives or dies. Luna is still traumatized from being hidden and gaslit by Lee, just as Finn was once when Lee faked his death. She finds herself pinned against the wall, gasping for breath under Lee's iron grip. This moment completely reframes Sheila. After being the monster that frightened the Forresters, she now emerges as Luna's unexpected protector, siding with Luna against Lee and, consequently, with Finn, Poppy, and even Bill. None of them, however, believe her intentions. Because Sheila's intervention makes everyone re-evaluate their own morals, the repercussions is severe. Why did they hesitate to save Luna? Why did Sheila, of all people, stop Lee? What does it imply if Sheila is now the one advocating for life while others remain silent? Even though Bill despises Luna for what she did to Will, Sheila's accusations that he is prepared to sacrifice his grandchild for his pride make him feel deeply upset. Though Will, caught between guilt and indignation, understands that his silence could have cost Luna her life, Katie is even more uneasy and appalled that she allowed her disdain for Luna to trump her instinct to defend a young lady in peril. When Poppy arrives shortly after, she is shocked to see Luna alive and in shock over the fact that Lee, like she did with Finn, lied about death in the family once more. Her rage at her sister is so intense that it explodes into accusations that Lee is no longer qualified to practice medicine, let alone assert moral superiority. Finn also gets there in time to witness his mother's hands turning red with remorse in a figurative sense. He lashes out at Lee for using the same ruthless tactics that almost cost him his own future, and it appears that the gulf between the two will never be healed. But in the midst of this storm of treachery, Sheila takes center stage, claiming that she was the only one who genuinely acted bravely and compassionately and that she couldn't have seen her granddaughter be killed in front of her. This action, which Sheila views as evidence of her metamorphosis, is her attempt to change her legacy from one of destroying families to one of their improbable saviors. Brooke, Ridge, and Steffi see the hypocrisy after the story gets out, but Sheila's decision to shield Luna when no one else did is shocking. In a world when almost everyone else has abandoned her, Luna clings to her savior and may even view Sheila as her new ally, which causes the plot to spiral out of control. This creates new rivalries since Bill and Katie are compelled to reluctantly admit that Sheila might have been correct, while Lee is incensed at Sheila for meddling. The stakes are only raised by the possibility that Luna is carrying the Spencer heir, and Sheila promises to defend Luna and the unborn child at all costs, saying it is her opportunity to nurture rather than destroy. However, would anyone see Sheila's intentions as being sincere, or will they perceive this as just another ploy in her never-ending cycle of control and obsession? Fans are already speculating that Sheila's intervention could be the first step toward her redefining herself as a heroine, or at the very least, as a flawed protector who has the potential to permanently alter the balance of power in Los Angeles. And when everything is said and done, one thing is evident. Sheila has changed the story by saving Luna from Lee's strangulation, making the Spencers, Logans, Forresters, and Finnegans face the notion that their greatest villain might now be the only thing separating one of their own from death. On The Bold and the Beautiful, Sheila Carter, now known as Sheila Sharp, is cast as Luna Nozawa's unlikely savior in a dangerous battle with Lee Finnegan. Teaser suggests that Sheila may intervene at the very moment Lee attempts to strangle Luna to death, while Bill Spencer, Katie Logan, and Will Spencer remain paralyzed in fury and indecision, watching the violence unfold in real time. This is a frightening new twist that could shake the foundations of every family involved. The previews show how enraged the Spencers are with Luna for drugging Will, deceiving him with Electra Forrester's disguise, and nearly damaging his reputation, that none of them act to halt Lee's violent outburst. Sheila's indecision allows her to take on a role no one ever imagined possible. Defending Luna, the grandchild she once despised but now sees as the final, perilous link in her quest for redemption. Even though Katie gasps and Bill clenches his fists, it is Sheila who storms into the room, roaring with maternal wrath as she drags Lee away from her own niece and exclaims that no one, least of all Lee, has the right to determine whether Luna lives or dies. Luna is still traumatized from being concealed and gaslit by Lee, just as Finn was when Lee staged his murder. She is pressed against the wall, gasping for air under Lee's iron grip. This incident radically transforms Sheila. From being the monster that terrified the Forresters, she now emerges as Luna's unexpected protector, siding with Luna against Lee and, as a result, with Finn, Poppy, and even Bill. They do not, however, believe her intentions. Because Sheila's influence causes everyone to reconsider their own morals, the consequences are devastating. Why were they hesitant to save Luna? Why would Sheila, of all people, stop Lee? What does it mean that Sheila is suddenly the one advocating for life while the others remain silent? Even though Bill despises Luna for what she did to Will, Sheila's charges that he is willing to sacrifice his grandchild for his pride make him extremely unhappy. Though Will, torn between guilt and wrath, realizes that his quiet may have cost Luna her life, Katie is even more disturbed and outraged that she let her dislike for Luna top her instinct to defend a young lady in danger.